Hey, this is Cavallo from datingfire.com and datingadviceguru.com. Welcome to the channel. You know, relationships can seem difficult at times. Dating often feels very confusing and complicated. In reality, it's the people that are confusing and difficult. And the truth is, it's just a simple skill. And I'm going to show you simple dating and relationship advice for women that you can use right now to make the relationship you want. And there's a ton of great advice here on the channel, but right now do the big three. Number one, like and subscribe. It's the best way to get the stuff every week. Why wouldn't you want to do that? Number two, turn on the reminders, that little bell indicator next to the subscribe button. And number three, if you have any questions or you want to suggest a video, leave that in the comment section below. The number one problem of most relationships is simply this. Both the man and the woman were just a little bit too lazy when they were dating, really. Neither one just followed a very smart plan to make sure that the relationship would be a success after those first critical weeks. Now, I've been coaching men and women for nearly 20 years, and the one consistent problem that has always shown up is that neither gender was willing to step up and just hold the other one accountable for the relationship. After all, no one wants to hear that it's going to take effort and work to make a relationship succeed, right? Human beings are lazy by nature. But let me ask you this, would you like to attract a man and get him to fall in love with you, respect you with the least amount of effort? Of course you would. You can do it too. It doesn't have to be a struggle. And there are some magic bullets that you can use to radically increase your chances of relationship success and becoming a loving couple. Now here's some of that dating and relationship advice for women that you can use, well, any couple could use right now. Tip number one is there's no autopilot for relationships. I know it can be tempting to just coast along in a relationship, but relationships require work, and chances are you already know this. People get lazy when it comes to relationships. Now, if you think that you can just put things on autopilot, you're going to find out, usually too late, that you've grown distant and eventually it's going to break you up. So yeah, it might be a little bit of work, but is there anything else that's more worth working on than your love? The next tip is stop chasing guys. Look, if you're chasing men, if you're trying to get them interested in you and trying to get them approving of you, you're probably scaring them away. Men are hunters by nature, right? He needs to have that satisfaction of pursuing and capturing your love. Now, unfortunately, most women make themselves way too easy. Or worse, they fall for the popular idea that it's okay for women to play the traditional male role and then they do all the approaching. They approach guys, they ask guys out or invite them into bed. This is the worst thing you can do. First of all, if you put all the work in to get him interested, how are you going to know if he's really into you? How do you know he didn't just go along with you because he had nothing else going on? Second, if you chase him up front, he's never going to feel the thrill of wondering if you're into him. He needs to have that curiosity, and then he's going to start taking you for granted when you're a couple. You need a man to show you interest. You want him to let you know you're desirable, don't you? Next tip is pamper yourself in the right way. Men are attracted to the women who know how to treat themselves right. These are the women that, well, they look good and they feel good about themselves. Guys are attracted to women who are more girly girl than manly man for the obvious reasons. It's the women who know this, that know how to demonstrate their feminine value. These are the women that can attract almost any man. Next tip is talk it through. It can be really hard talking about intimacy with men, as you probably already know, which is why you're here. The women who tend to lose their men are the ones that try to avoid talking about the tough stuff. When you've got an emotional obstacle, you have to know what to say to men to open them up. Lucky you, this is what I teach. If you talk to a guy like a girlfriend, you're going to lose him. You need to know what words to use with men and how to keep his attention. The next tip is to split it two ways. Now, when I say that you should split it two ways, I'm talking about the effort. You need to split up the chores, the responsibilities, 50-50 in your partnership as best you can. Otherwise, one person is going to grow complacent and lazy. Can you guess which side that's going to be? And the other side is going to grow resentful of it. Make sure you talk through your expectations in the relationship. If you don't, you're very likely to run into more misunderstandings, more arguments, and conflict. And again, I'll show you how to talk to men so that they'll listen to you. And if you really want him to listen to you, you got to really listen to him, and that's the next tip. Most men feel like they're not actually heard within their relationships. They don't feel like their partner really knows what's going on in his head and in his heart. And most women would blame him for this, that he's not talking about his feelings enough. Keep in mind that women listen to connect, while men talk to solve problems. That's a huge understanding about guys you got to take away from this. The truth is that men talk to women that they trust and respect. Now, do you know what signs he's looking for to trust you and respect you? Next tip is put down the boxing gloves. The relationships that fall apart and fail are the ones where the couple get into blaming contests and they try to be the winner of the argument. A little newsflash here. Even if you think you won a relationship argument, you didn't. No, because the person who lost that argument, the guy, is now pushed away from you a little bit, and it gets harder and harder for him to come back to you emotionally. Avoid treating your man as an adversary. He's your partner and he's your co-pilot, and he wants to know you're on the same team, that you're going to work on that same team when you're a couple. Next tip is keep your sense of humor. It's easy to start being too serious with your relationship, and when you become too serious, the relationship starts to lose its fun, and that's when guys start to grow more cold and distant. That's another reason why you must keep your sense of humor with you at all times. If you take your relationship too seriously, as if your life depends on it, your man will sense this and he's going to run away. Now, the first thing to do in any relationship, and the first place to go, is you usually got to get that good vibe between you and him. Men choose the women that they marry by watching how much fun he's having with you. Laugh with him, and you're going to create a rock-solid intimacy connection, and he's going to adore you forever. Next tip is don't lose yourself in the small stuff. It's really easy to forget how much of the small stuff in our relationships really doesn't matter. But most of the things that we end up arguing over, they don't matter at all. Instead of letting those small problems overwhelm you, keep them in perspective. The next tip is keep up the respect. You deserve to be treated with respect by him at all times. Am I right here or what? And he also deserves that same treatment from you. So respect in your relationship is vital for it to survive. Respect shows up in how you talk to each other, how you treat each other, and it's even in how you think about each other when you're not around each other. Next tip is don't break the relationship speed limit. You might not realize this, but this is huge. Most women don't. This is something very unique to what I teach you, is that you don't realize that every guy in a relationship has a relationship speed limit. This speed limit is how quickly he's going to commit to you and to your love. But what most women don't realize is that they're probably already speeding. To get a guy to really give you his heart requires you to know exactly how fast you can go with him. Some guys can go quicker, some guys need a little bit slower. Do you know how fast you can go? Next tip is remember who holds the power. If you've ever read some of this dating and relationship advice online and thought, yeah, but what about him? Why doesn't he have to learn and change and get better? Why don't guys have to do their part? Well, you might be tempted to wonder why you have to do all the work, right? The truth is we all have our part. But as the saying goes, you got to know when it's wiser to help yourself first. When you realize that you are the one that controls your actions, that gives you an incredible amount of power to get the man you desire. If you wait around complaining about the guys who won't change for you, you're going to miss out on the one. As I like to say, don't be that person who's sitting in front of a fireplace saying, "First give me heat and then I'll give you the wood." It doesn't work that way. The next tip is don't make the common mistakes. One of the fastest ways to fix your relationships, or even just win back your ex or get a man that's pulling away to stop that, is to simply stop making all of those mistakes with guys, the common mistakes. Most women don't know that there are some simple mistakes that you can avoid to save your relationship or even your marriage. And it's not your fault you made them, but now you can avoid those mistakes. And avoiding mistakes is easy. You ever feel like giving up on men and relationships? Everybody does now and then. But before you lose hope, take a deep breath, and stay with me for a second here. Relationships might seem difficult at first, but they're much less intimidating than you might think. If you want a successful relationship or marriage, you simply have to focus on it. The most important thing you can do is to learn how relationships work with men. Now, there's a few more tips I want to give you for how to help your dating and your relationships. And the most important one I can give you right now is, if you don't understand men, studies show that your relationship could end within 3 to 4 months. This is a scary truth that you might not know about. You see, a man has a window of opportunity, and that window of opportunity is that window that you can get him to fall in love with you. And it's a very short window. It's open and then it's shut pretty quick. The time limit on relationships is real, and it's a problem that many women face, which is why most women tend to hurry. They want to get through that window as quick as possible, but then what do? you're breaking that speed limit, right? Most women have a difficult time getting past the first 2 to 3 months in their relationships, sometimes even sooner. There seems to be this time limit, right? It's a wall that you can't seem to get past. And most women can't make a love relationship turn into a commitment or even turn into marriage. Now, the reason for this is simply because most women don't understand how men think and how to keep them happy. Because if your man is happy, he's going to do anything to make sure you are happy. It works this way. Trust me on this. Now, I've got something for you that's going to help you out. Now, the truth is, you probably came to this channel just looking for some entertainment maybe, or maybe just wanted a tip or two on how relationships work with guys. Well, that's what I'm here for. That's what I show you. But let me tell you this. The first big mistake you don't want to make is to treat this like it's nothing, like it's entertainment. In fact, you might be in a situation right now where the guy you're dating or that you're in a relationship with is pulling away, or he's just not as engaged as he was at the start. He's just not there with you like you want him to be, or he's not making that all-important commitment to the relationship. And you know what this feels like, right? It feels horrible and you want to get it solved. That's what I can show you how to do. Don't just move on from article to article hoping you're going to get that information. Stop here. This is what I do. I teach women how men think. I'm a guy. I'm an expert at this stuff. And when it comes to relationship advice for women, you want to make sure you're getting the best possible tips you possibly can. And every week I explain how men think and what men want in my articles and my podcasts and these videos on this channel. As a man, I'm also quite a bit more qualified to help you understand guys and how to keep a man in that relationship. I'm going to show you the secrets to understand men that most women and even most guys don't even know about. Most guys don't even understand the things that are going on in their heads. Now, before you go anywhere, do this. See this link below me here? This datingfire.com/Ask Carlos. That's datingfire.com/Ask Carlos. You can get my free ebook on the 7 mistakes that women make that push men away. You can find out why he stopped loving you, why he's pulling away, why is he distant, why is this guy just not into the relationship like you know he should be. Just put your email in that form on that page. Go to datingfire.com/Ask Carlos. You can even ask a question there. If you have a question about your relationship, pop it in the blank. If you don't, just put your email in and I'm going to send you this book right away, along with a little bonus VIP subscription to my newsletter. No charge. This is all free stuff. I'm going to send you a free ebook and video where you're going to learn the real reasons that men run from relationships. You're going to know how to figure out if he's still interested in you. You're going to know if he's afraid to commit or if there's something getting in the way. And you need to find that out right away. Go on over to datingfire.com/Ask Carlos. It's datingfire.com/Ask Carlos. Go ahead and run over there now or just click the link below the video. Hey, this is Carlos Cavallo from datingfire.com and datingadviceguru.com. Before you run away though, number 1, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Why wouldn't you want to get more of this good stuff? Also, number 2, turn on the notifications. Click the little bell icon next to the subscribe button. You'll know when the next one comes out. And number 3, if you have any other questions or if you want to just suggest a video, leave that in the comment section below. And stick around, I got lots of other great stuff here on the channel as well. Watch another video and I'll be talking again soon. This is Carlos Cavallo. As always, live and love with passion.